The awesome people at Prime Video sent along screeners for the first half of Invincible Season 2. This is a big one. I was beyond excited to dive into this new season. This will be a spoiler-free look at the second season of Invincible. Invincible debuted on Prime Video back in 2021. The series is based on Robert Kirkman's comic series of the same name. If you don't know who that is, and if you're watching this, you probably do, Robert Kirkman is also the creator of The Walking Dead. Invincible takes place in a world, or a galaxy really, where superheroes are real and widely known. The most powerful of all these superheroes is Omni-Man. In the first season, we meet Omni-Man's teenage son, Mark Grayson, as Mark begins his own superhero journey. Everything Mark thought he knew is challenged, and he has to make a tough decision that doesn't just affect his own life, but potentially the lives of billions. Now, the first season kicked off with a bang. The first episode alone has a holy crap twist that I guarantee will hook anybody. It's been a couple of years between seasons, and while the show is worth a rewatch, if you don't have the time, there's a very solid recap that reminds you of just how many epic moments and brutal superpowered violence there was packed into that first season. The second season does the same. Right from the second you press play on that first episode, your expectations are subverted. Things move along at a rapid pace. The episodes are packed dense with story elements, action, comedy, and drama. This gives everything a very cinematic feel. Each episode finds a way of ending what that episode was covering while fulfilling the overall story. Much like the ongoing comic book series, the writers absolutely nail every issue as someone's first, as well as making you desperate for that next installment. With just the first half of the season, 4 amazing episodes, so many elements are put into play that there's no way the writers can wrap them all up with just another 4. Okay, well maybe not no way, these writers are excellent, but no matter the decisions they make, we're going to have one hell of a second half. There are at least 3 new big bads introduced, while other existing villains are given either new life or new stories of their own. After Season 1 premiered, Prime Video did renew Invincible for an additional 2 seasons, so we know at least one more is coming, and I would not be surprised for more beyond that. For a show that can easily be summed up to those not in the know, the depths that the writing takes these stories, characters, and morality is incredible. The emotions and reactions of the characters are very real and grounded, even in such a fantastical animated world. The way powers are explored and what it means to have them or wield them, it's also something that is just very interesting and it never bogs down the pace of the show. The action and violence is amazing. This is definitely not a superhero show for kids. There's a lot of heart with the relationships and even the comedy hits. Walking that line between these 3 differing emotions can't be easy, but the Invincible writers pull it off. The character development, even for the tertiary characters that don't get a ton of screen time, is always impressive. It goes way deeper than you'd think. Every time you have somebody figured out, every time you put them in a box or know where their character stands, there's something that happens and just blows up everything that you expected to happen. Now, this isn't specific to Season 2, but the look of the series overall is great. I do wish the animation had a bit more fluidity to it, but the style of it is great, and it does everything to bring me back to my memories of growing up with the 90s X-Men and Spider-Man cartoons. Of course, it's a nostalgia hit, even if this show is not like those at all, and of course, Invincible does look better than those just objectively. When the action starts, and it starts often, there are fantastic effects, solid use of motion blur, and hard-hitting sound effects that make everything feel more alive and hide a lot of that lack of fluidity I just mentioned. The additional effects put over the scenes also go a long way to bringing this comic concept to life. Depth and color are in every frame. The background and foregrounds are both allowed to pull focus at times, making the drawings feel like they're shot more than drawn onto a flat plate. There's good work in saturation and thresholds for setting the backgrounds apart, which also adds a lot more depth to the picture. The voice cast is another element that makes the already great show that much better. To not just sit here and literally read every single credited voice actor, I'll say for me, J.K. Simmons and Steven Yeun as the 2 lead characters are constantly knocking it out of the park. A quick additional shout out has to be given to Walton Goggins and Gillian Jacobs because they're better known for their live action acting instead of their voice acting, and they do a fantastic job. Invincible Season 2 premieres this Friday, November 3rd on Prime Video, with new episodes dropping weekly. If you missed the first season, get on it. The recap Season 2 provides is strong, but you really don't want to miss a minute of this.